So welcome for coming, and thank you to the Black Box. So we're trying something different this time. Instead of just playing closing the doors, we're at a standing room only model, and so that's why that's happening. We're tweaking the extent to which we advertise events and trying to be a little bit more permissive and seeing if we can still do this without distracting the performers. So welcome to our first InterMEDIA performance concert of the semester. I'm Jeff Morris. I'm the director of the Perf Tech program here, Performance Technology. If you're here for recital credit for example, a Music 200 class or anything in core curriculum, and have been told to get your program signed, we haven't done enough programs as we have seats, because you're legally here, and so you can get your program signed by Mr. Achille Javois at the. You'll see him back there. You'll see him on your way out, and you can get him to sign your program. And let's see. This is also a terrific time to silence and darken any of your electronic devices. And while I'm doing that, let me remind you or let you know that we have a lot of gear up here. Even this stuff needs some maintenance, and especially the electronic devices are used to, if they're in the room, they're used to being the star, and so they're not always used to sitting quietly. So we've done what we needed to silence them when they're not being used, but it may take a little bit of doing a little brief sound check before we begin each of the pieces. So we'll appreciate your patience with that. And really, that's part of the learning experience here to examine the impact of technology on performance. And this is one of the good ways we get to see that in the hot seat. And let me invite the members of the Tamu Octet up. Amanda. This next performance will be the debut of a new ensemble. Since 2009, we've had the Tamu Laptet, our laptop ensemble, and this is a variation on that idea of new formations of traditional chamber music ensembles. This is called the Tamu Octet. It's formed through the honors program at A&M, and we've set about investigating, finding new ways to discover musical material in unlikely places. And so we started with just a battery and a speaker. This is what's called a Victorian synthesizer. The Victorians didn't actually use that, but it's the name of a fairly recent project in trying to find ways to make technology with, to make different varieties of sound using technology that would have been available to Victorians, like a speaker is just a magnet next to an electromagnet. And they had batteries, so we're using, they had Leiden jars, and so we're using modern versions of that, and so this one has become named Vicky. Vicky's being played by Amanda. We also have a plain old microphone and speaker, a radio, what's been broken, Barbie cell phone, tweezers with a guitar pickup, and a fan. Not a fan. And so we've been setting out this semester so far and discovering, going out searching for raw musicalities, sounds we can find that we could shape to be expressive, to build supporting textures, to build motives, ideas that might be repeated and recognized when they come back or as they're transformed over time. And later this semester, we'll be working on a mixer feedback piece. It will be a feedback mixer ensemble. To organize this, I'm going to be using an approach for conducting improvising musicians, and that's the technique is called conduction. It was created by a performer who's named Butch Morris. He passed away a few years ago. With the conduction technique, he primarily worked with acoustic musicians, but also worked with artists in other disciplines. His conduction with poets is particularly striking. And so it's a way of not dictating certain notes to happen, but shaping what improvisational decisions these performers make. So I'm improvising with them. We're all improvising together to shape a performance. And so I think we've all kind of discovered that this process has been very cerebral in understanding the science of what's going on with each of these things, creative in finding ways to develop those and express them, also as physically engaging as we try to stay very in touch with our muscle memory and motor skills, so we can reproduce the same sounds again, or gain control over these otherwise fairly wild things. And mentally, learning to improvise this way within a group requires intense listening, intense control over yourself as well, and planning ahead, thinking scientifically and creatively. And so it's a great way of exercising, being able to get into that precious flow state where things are just working. You kind of step out of yourself and become more of you in some way. So with that said, then we'll begin our debut improvisation. invite Mick Espinel up to the stage. Mick is a recent graduate from our program, on his way to graduate school. And while he was here, he created an instrument with various historical influences and various modes of play called the zip Ryan. And I'll be performing with him using a technique that's called live sampling. So whereas many computer musicians prefer to have large banks of sound meticulously organized so that they can pull up anything at a moment's notice, I never wanted to mess with that, and thought it was interesting to come in with absolutely no sound and be able to capture moments that happen live in the moment, and then use various controllers, these happen to be Nintendo Wiimotes, to shape what happens in the performance. And I want to double check and make sure my other speaker that was shared with Vicky is now plugged in. Those were sounds that I recorded during rehearsal. I promise I won't use them, but I'd like to. sound check as well. Not too long. So these are part of the students from the Intermediate Performance course. Another of the students is sitting here at the live audio and video workstation. Other members of the class who participated in creating this project are done. You'll see them in the content and the structure that we collectively put together. But we began this project. We began with the challenge to build just an intermediate performance. We have this event on the books, and this was our challenge. And so instead of starting with a single message that we wanted our audience to receive with perfect clarity, or instead of beginning with a melody in one of our heads and somebody else to add harmony, somebody else to add a beat to it, we decided to take inventory of ourselves, our interests, our skills, our motivations, areas of expertise, and we became the artistic medium, or we were the instrument to compose for. And so we wanted to build a performance that incorporated each of those aspects of ourselves as deeply as possible. And so we ended up with a piece that is inspired by the various forms of physical activity that each of the students in the class were interested in and experts in. And so in this room, we set up a non-traditional motion capture session where we captured the light patterns of as hands and feet moved while performing these actions. We also recorded the breath and body sounds as those things were going on, and also incorporated some visual media of the kinds of textures that are incorporated, or the kinds of materials that are encountered with each of those things. And Chris is into accelerometers, which they're in these, they're in these, and they detect acceleration or changing speed, but are also good at picking up gravity. So they function well as tilt sensors, and so we also captured tilt sensor data from these our motion experts performing these motions. And so we took those curves, 3 dimensions of tilt in X, Y, and Z, and our composer in the class, Justin here in the middle, took those curves, and we figured out ways to map those to musical contours for the 5-piece acoustic ensemble to play for you. And so that's all I want to do with the piece. So we can go ahead and turn out the lights, Sheila, and we'll do a brief sound check, and let me tune up, and we'll begin. That's the end of our show for tonight. Shield will sign the programs if you get one. And we'll see you at the end of next month for our next